Hey guys, Martin here, bringing up Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And so today, in this video, as the title suggests, we are going to go over the 10th anniversary roadmap and see whereabouts we are in terms of things that we know, things that we can speculate, and of course, some things are more likely than others, and some things will, of course, still be kind of up in the air, but with some little hints here and there, largely when it comes to like the part 2 stuff. But obviously, as I'm sure you've seen if you've been on the game at all today with the loading screens, we are 4 days away from the start of the anniversary. So definitely very, very exciting. And yeah, we're just going to go over everything we know so far and then speculate about what is left. Now, I'm going to say straight away, I will largely still be going off this running theory that the larger slots on this board are for new units and the smaller slots are for easy A's. With the reveal of the free-to-play units yesterday, that still fits this theory, so we are going to be sticking with that. So this is obviously what we saw when the live stream happened and they posted this image. I do think this whole thing has been very cool. It's made for a lot of speculation. One thing I will say as well is we have a section over in the Discord. So do join the Discord, be part of the community. The link is down in the description. And we have a section in the general area for the 10th anniversary character maps. A lot of people have put their own custom ones and their ideas in there. So I might do a video for tomorrow where I go over some of these, talk about them and give my thoughts on your guys' predictions. So if you want to be in with a chance to be in that video and have me see your predictions and talk about them, do go join the Discord, do go post your template over there. And yeah, maybe that'll be in the video for tomorrow. So we're going to go over, first of all, what we know for sure. So we obviously had the 3 slots already filled in for the 3 headliners that were revealed on the stream. And then the first bit of information that we got a few days ago with the data download on the JP side was that we are getting the Super Easy A's for AGL, Super Vegito, and Int Buhan. So we're going to fill those in here. It's the first time I've tried recording like this. I'm basically doing it like recording my screen on Photoshop. Someone, when I talked about the roadmap last time, I literally just had the image up on the screen and just talked for the whole video. And somebody was like, nah, you need to have more interesting visuals. So we're going to try and fill in the slots as they go. Obviously, there's a little bit of overlap at the bottom there, but we'll ignore that for now. It will get filled in momentarily. So we know about the AGL Super Vegito and the Int Buhan Super Easy A's. This again still coincides with the theme that small slots are going to be for Easy A's and Super Easy A's, and large slots are going to be for new characters. So bear in mind that with the Majin Buu Saga new unit slot already taken up with the new Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Super Vegito, and we know that they are the Dokkan Fest, that also does very much imply, I didn't at this point decide to like guess who it was going to be, but we will also be getting the Vegito banner unit as one of the new characters as well. Now, obviously, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section who you think this could be. I've seen a bunch of different ideas floating around, from like the a new Supreme Kai or Kibito Kai. Obviously we could get a new like buff Buu, or any of the other, like, I guess there's not many other forms of Buu that haven't had recent updates. I guess a new Buu tanks, because the physical LR is kind of becoming a little bit outdated now, and there was that physical TUR one that got an Easy A a while ago, but I feel like he's probably already a little bit outdated at this point as well. But obviously it could be any Buu Saga character essentially as a banner unit for Vegito, but I feel like it will probably end up being something like a Supreme Kai or a Buu, because with some of the big ticket characters we've had recently, I wouldn't expect like a Gohan or a Gotenks or something. I guess maybe a Kid Goten, only because of course we do know the other 2 new units that have been confirmed after yesterday with the interesting hints that were put out from the Twitter and piecing those puzzle pieces together. We have the Dragon Ball unit is going to be Demon King Piccolo. There's the thing there from the puzzle pieces. And then we have the Trunks, who I talked about in the video yesterday. I very much assume, because the free-to-play LR for the new anniversary always gets the mechanic, like the new mechanic for the anniversary. And as we've been told about the reversible exchange for the Goku and Vegeta who then fuse into Vegito, it seems quite likely that this could be a reversible exchange Goten and Trunks who then fuse into Gotenks. So even though they can switch into Goten, a banner unit for Vegito being Goten would be interesting, because obviously they would be able to link up straight away on turn 1. Or, of course, in the art we see for Trunks here, he is in base. So the banner unit could quite easily be a Super Saiyan Goten or Trunks, and then the free-to-play unit is them starting off in base. And then, yeah, with the LR for, well, hopefully there are 2 LRs, because I feel bad for the OG Dragon Ball fans. But yeah, the Dragon Ball slot taken up by Demon King Piccolo, which again coincides with the large slots are for new characters and smaller slots are for Easy A's and Super Easy A's. So the interesting thing is Dragon Ball is now fully filled up, and Majin Buu Saga is fully filled up with the information that we have. Now, somebody did point out, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the video yesterday, there is the possibility that the fusing Goten and Trunks are from Fusion Reborn, or I think they fuse off screen, but someone was saying that, I didn't actually look it up, apparently you can, they do fuse into Gotenks and fight Hirudegarn in Wrath of the Dragon, but they fuse off screen, but apparently Gotenks fights Hirudegarn, which means then the unit would be under Z movies for either Fusion Reborn or the Hirudegarn movie, which would then take up the slot for a new Z movie character. And considering we are start to run out of slots when we talk about some of the big predicted Easy A's, I don't think that will be the case, right? I think the Goten and Trunks will be from the Buu Saga, and then that fills up the final slots for the Buu Saga here on the roadmap. So this is obviously, as of where we are now, this is all we know 100%. And we have to start speculating from here on out. Now, the easiest thing to speculate straight away, that we've already talked about in videos before, is following on with this trend of the previous anniversary characters getting Easy A's with the newest anniversary. We are, of course, all expecting that the LR Super Saiyan 4s and the LR Gods will get their Easy A's. So we have these images. I couldn't find a good image to throw in for in their God form, so we've got the blue form there. But obviously for GT, this now completely fills out all of the slots, because we know we're getting the new Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and he is the only new character, the only large slot on the board for GT. And then, of course, we have the Super Saiyan 4s getting their Easy A. And then over on the Dragon Ball Super side, there's only one empty slot for an Easy A or Super Easy A. The other 2 are the larger slots. So the Gods take that up. So the 7-year Easy A's actually fill out the only Easy A or Super Easy A slot for GT and Dragon Ball Super, which is very interesting. And remember, again, we are going by this theory that large slots are new characters, small slots are Easy A's. So far, that has held up with the information that we've received so far, but we don't know if that is 100% the case, and we are still kind of waiting to know 100% if that is indeed true. So, if we start from the left side and sweep across to the right, continuing on with speculation. Now, I mentioned in the video that I put up earlier today, we are, of course, getting this new event that's coming out for the 10th anniversary battle, which seems to imply from the splash image from the event that we are going to start getting part 2 LR from over the years, special skill orbs. So that, of course, means the Saiyan saga. I was already pretty locked in that this is what I think is going to be the case, but I think these slots, remember they're small slots for the Saiyan saga, are going to be Easy A's for STR Kaioken Goku and Tech Great Ape Vegeta. And now with the fact that these guys are going to get new unique skill orbs, hopefully through this event, remember that's not 100% confirmed either, but that would be perfect, right? Give these guys really good Easy A's, give them unique skill orbs from that new event, and then these guys will be absolutely cooking. So I definitely think that they are going to be the Saiyan Saga slots. And then when we come to Namek Saga, we only have 2 slots for the Namek Saga as well. And so I think a lot of people would agree probably the most hype choice for 2 Namek Saga Easy A's is going to be Int Namek Goku and AGL Full Power Frieza. Now, the thing is, this would be shaping up to be such an insane anniversary already. Like, it already is. Like, so much stuff about this anniversary is already so peak. But, like, all these LRs getting Easy A's from previous anniversaries, part 2s of anniversaries, worldwide celebrations, like the Namek Saga units. Like, this is so many good Easy A's and, like, Super Easy A's that we're starting to see already. So, this would definitely be such a great celebration. I mentioned it in the video that I put up earlier about the skill orb event, but the biggest like comment that I just keep seeing everywhere is like, this is the best celebration yet, or best celebration ever, and it like hasn't even started properly yet. So these EZAs would definitely be very good. Namek Goku and Full Power Frieza. Namek Goku, if his EZA is really good, could make such a great comeback on some of these teams. And we've seen with like the new Red Zone stages that we've been getting, that some of these fights are starting to get quite a bit longer. And of course, with the Namek Saga one, the Goku would get his buffs for fighting the Friezas, which is interesting. So then we move on to Android/Cell Saga, Z movies, and we've got 2 more slots for Super. This is where the speculation starts to get a little bit more. I guess it's the new units that really make it tricky, right? So when it comes to, let's do another 2 that I think are quite easy, which is Dragon Ball Z movies. We have the 2 small slots that obviously, going by the working theory, will be EZAs or Super EZAs. As I said in the video the other day, with part of the revamp of the anniversary event, we know that STR Gogeta and Int Janemba are getting new unique skill orbs. I still don't know. I still haven't seen from the files. People have been saying that other anniversary LRs are getting newer ones as well, but we know 100% for a fact they're in the files. These guys are getting new skill orbs. And as I said in the video the other day where I reported that news and talked about it, I don't see any other reason why they would be doing that if it wasn't for these guys getting their Super EZAs. And it makes sense because they're the first anniversary units. We're now moving into the 10th anniversary. Game's been out for 10 years. What better way than to Super EZA the first anniversary characters? So I absolutely think those 2 small Z movie slots will be taken up by Gogeta and Janemba's Super EZA. The only other possibility that I think it could be if it's not them is the AGL Pycon and Tech Janemba EZAs. But obviously if I had to choose, I would much rather get the Super EZAs. I think they will be very, very good. And definitely some very good additions to the team. So this is where I'd got to at the point where I thought, in terms of what I'm thinking and in my train of thought, this was the easy part up to here, right? Saiyan Saga EZAs, Namek Saga EZAs, pretty much a given, I think. Dragon Ball Z movies, like I say, I think it's going to be Gogeta and Janemba. But this is where we get to the part where it gets a little bit tricky. And I think for some of the EZAs, or for the EZAs for Android/Cell Saga, I think these might heavily revolve around whoever is going to be the new units. Now, the other thing I should point out as well is once we get to this point, again, we're still subscribing to the large slots are new units, small slots are EZAs. You can kind of see that the Dokkan Fest exclusive for part 2 is going to have to be a Dragon Ball Super character, because there's only 1 slot for Android Cell Saga and 1 slot for Z movies, which means that a character coming out would then not be able to have a banner unit from that same arc. There's always the possibility that they drop a Z movies character and then their banner unit is like a super character, but I think that's very unlikely, whilst it is still a possibility, of course. So the way I decided to look at this was, I think that one of the new units for part 2 is going to be a new Super Saiyan 2 Gohan as the Carnival LR. Now, bear in mind, when we think about these predictions, I've got this image up here as well. Remember, this is the 10th anniversary summon theme, which they did say in the live stream is going to apply to part 1 and part 2. So the Dokkan Festival character is going to be miraculous power born from the strongest duo, which pretty much implies fusions for almost for both of them, right? Not necessarily. There could be some other options, but it very heavily hints at fusion. And then the Carnival characters are family and rivals. So obviously with, Gohan, Goku training Gohan, giving up against Cell, putting Gohan in, and then of course sacrificing himself, and then the father-son Kamehameha. I think there's no way you can really argue that it doesn't fit like a family theme to have a new Gohan. I would prefer a new standalone Super Saiyan 2. I think that would be very, very cool. Obviously, he could have the transformation as his intro. Maybe, we would obviously want a super cool looking new version of the father-son Kamehameha, but whether that's an active skill or the 18 key, that gives a lot of room for them to throw in a Dokkan original animation as well. I'm still hoping that basically all of the headliners get a Dokkan original animation of some kind. We pretty much know that Vegeta will, right? Because he's got this unit super with Goku. But the other two, of course, the Super Vegeta, Goku and Vegeta exchange, and then the Super Saiyan 3, especially Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because we have never had that moment in the game, so he's probably got a lot of animations they can still just use from that. But having a new Super Saiyan 2 standalone Gohan, no annoying transformation condition to mess around with, and then he could have some very good animations. And so I decided that I thought what would be cool to go along with him And again, I think this is speculation, but I think this would be some good easy A's or super easy A's, would be to get a easy A for the tech Goku and Gohan. I loved this card when they came out. Them getting an easy A, they would obviously be a great link partner for the new Gohan. They were a unit that on release were very good in terms of doing some good damage. They had relatively good raw defense, but they didn't really have any great defensive mechanics. So as events started to get a bit more difficult, they aged out fairly quickly. So having these guys come back would be really good, especially with how good teams like Kamehameha and stuff still are. Having a unit like this get a buff, I think would be very good. And then of course with the Buhan Super Easy A, I was kind of inspired by that to throw in another, throw a bone to the extreme class side, right? And because it does relate to Gohan, have the Tech Cell Super Easy A, because obviously with Vegito and Buhan, we're moving into 70% leads getting their Super Easy A's. Tech Cell, I think, is the only one left from that group, because we've got AGL Dragon Fist Goku, Physical Full Power Frieza, Int Gohan, and STR Broly. Yeah, so Tech Cell is the only one left from that batch of Dokkan Fest that doesn't have a Super Easy A. So if part 2 Carnival LR is going to be Gohan, then it fits the theme, even though he is, of course, an extreme character. So that was my thinking around Android/Cell Saga. Obviously, let me know what you guys think down below. Now, when it comes to the other Carnival unit, remember, it has to be a Z Movies character if we're going by this theory. Large slots is new cards. There must be a banner unit, so it can only be Dragon Ball Super, which then means the Carnival unit for part 2, the second one, would have to be a new Z Movies character. But something we were having some interesting discussion on the streams, and I think over in the Discord, is that, remember, Battle of Gods is technically a Z movie, and so is Resurrection of F. But with the theme being family and rivals, I figured we could kind of get away with the inclusion of the God Ritual and have a new Super Saiyan God Goku as a Carnival LR. I think that would be very cool. Obviously, with the new Vegeta releasing, with the gods getting their easy A's, we've got a couple of interesting buffs for a Realm of Gods. A Carnival LR God Goku could be a straight up 200% Realm of Gods leader, which would obviously be very interesting. And as I've talked about in previous videos, we don't know what the unit super condition for the Blue Evolution Vegeta is, and I'm hoping it's not going to be just a straight up UI Goku, because that's very restrictive. But my hope is that it's just like a Goku on the Realm of Gods category, and so then of course one of the part 2 Carnival LRs being a God Goku goes hand in hand with that. So let me know what you guys think. I know it's a bit of a loose fit to the theme, but I think it would be quite interesting. And yeah, Battle of Gods, it does specify Z movies. So Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F are technically on the table for this slot, right? But they would have to be a Carnival LR. So then that leaves us 2 slots, Dragon Ball Super. As we've already said, I could have filled it in before, to be fair, but one of these slots has got to be the banner unit for Dragon Ball Super. But that leaves us with the final slot, the Dokkan Festival for Dragon Ball Super. And as we've already said, the theme is miraculous power born from the strongest duo. Now, I've seen some people say that this is going to be like a new Goku and Frieza, which I guess, I mean, I suppose it depends. Is Frieza supposed to be stronger than Vegeta in the Tournament of Power? I don't think so, right? After he gets Blue Evolution, I'm not sure. But I don't know if power born from the strongest duo counts. I've seen a lot of people suggesting a new Frieza, Goku and 17 all as one card, and I've seen a lot of people arguing about whether like Frieza and Goku count as rivals, whether that would come under the Carnival thing. But the way I'm looking at it is I'm still kind of tunnel visioning on this means a fusion, power born from the strongest duo. So that leaves 2 options. I didn't know which one to pick, so I've just picked an image of both of them. But that leaves us with a Vegito Blue or a Blue Gogeta. Now, obviously, we've already got a Vegito in part 1. Now, they could just literally do a blue version of the same thing, right? A blue Goku with a reversible exchange with blue Vegeta, who then fuse into Vegito Blue. Or they could do the reversible exchange, blue Goku and blue Vegeta, who fuse into blue Gogeta. Now, the only thing that kind of... There's nitpicks for both of these angles, because we've already got a Vegito in part 1, but that didn't stop them with the 7th anniversary, where we had a unit that fused into Gogeta, and then the gods who fused into Gogeta in their active skill, with no Vegito representation at all in that anniversary. So the part 2 Dokkan Fest could still easily be a Vegito Blue. And then when it comes to Blue Gogeta, the only nitpick that I have for that is, would they do Blue Gogeta 2 anniversaries in a row? Because last year we got the physical Super Gogeta that transforms into Blue Gogeta, and he was the Carnival LR. So doing a Blue Gogeta as the Dokkan Festival, I mean, he wasn't a fusing one last time, so if it's the reversible exchange and he fuses, it is still quite different mechanically, even though it is another Gogeta. Or he could just be a straight up standalone Blue Gogeta, which would be interesting. I don't know if they would only use the reversible exchange mechanic on like one of the units summonable and then the free-to-play character, but the reversible exchange doesn't really work for, like, at least for the picks that I've made, right, for a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or a Goku. Doesn't mean they have to use it. It could be just the one summonable character and the free-to-play character. But yeah, with Super being the banner unit, slot 3, and then the Dokkan Festival, I feel like with the theme being Powerborn from the strongest duo, it has to be Vegito or Blue Gogeta. Because even if you just extend the fusion thing a little bit and we're just kind of ignoring that it says the strongest duo, then it would be like, it'd have to be either Blue Gogeta, Vegito Blue, Kefla, or Zamasu, because they're the only fusions from Dragon Ball Super. So, I don't know. Because the thing is, a lot of people want to see a new Super Gogeta, because we've got a new Super Vegito, but he would be in Dragon Ball Z movies, which means as there's only one slot, he would have to be a Carnival LR, and the theme is family and rivals. And of course, I've seen some people say, you know, Goku and Vegeta are rivals, and then they fuse into Gogeta. So you can kind of get away with it. But when one of the other themes is basically fusion in different words, why would they do a fusion but then do it as the other theme when the Dokkan Fest theme is so very close to just straight up being fusion? So I don't know. I think this is an interesting set of picks. Makes sense to me, but I am not 100% locked in for the 3 new units. I do think that the Dokkan Fest will be a super character because that's the only space with a banner unit slot available. But when it comes to the actual picks, I just decided to have fun with it and go for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, God Goku, and then either a Vegito Blue or Blue Gogeta. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. We already do know some stuff for sure, which we covered at the beginning. Then we went over the most likely stuff with the EZAs, and then the last part is kind of just my complete speculation. So let me know what you guys think. Of the stuff that we don't know, what do you think will fill those slots when it comes to the new units? For the EZAs, do you think the ones I've picked are the ones that make the most sense? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.